What is up, grunts? This is a breakdown over the GBPJPY trade that was taken over London session that was held all the way towards NY, where we finally was able to take our profits. So let's get right into it. So overall, like we can see the strength of the pound against the yen due to Bank of England increase in rates. It just give the pound currency it just makes it a lot stronger compared to the yen due to the rate hikes. And just like going in and looking at price action, I just like how the 4 hour overall, the 4 hour was holding this support at 159.500. So this is like good confirms for continued buys. Like I would not look for sells unless I see price action break below these lows and then we get other confirms for a weaker pound and a stronger yen. But currently, like where price was at from last night, we could see that we just pretty much had an order block range right over here in between 160, like 160.9 to 161.300. And I was just pretty much just waiting for a candle to break above this resistance area and form a support on the lower time frames. So right now, like we could see how price action did break above and the candle closures was holding above this resistance area and we pretty much broke out of the range. So now I'm gonna just go into our 30-minute time frame just to give y'all a better look. So over London session, this was at 3 a.m. We had a bullish push that made price action that made these candles close above the highs, which was a first good initial sign for continuations. But what ideally, like how I like to trade, is the breakout and the retest. So we had the retest that retested 161.100. So we just had to wait for the lower time frames to give us a support for the continuation buys. But I definitely also liked how this candle turned bullish and closed, and we closed above the previous 30-minute candle, what gave me more confirms that this support was being held. And then also we're closing above support and above this order block range that we've been pretty much ranging in for a long period of time. So right here is exactly where my entry was, where support was being held on a 30-minute time frame. As you can see, we pretty much double bottom and rejected. So like this was another good entry confirms that I like to wait for. And your stops could be below the lows. Like the trade is only valid until the trade hits your stop loss. So the stop loss gave me a lot of breathing room, placing it all below the wicks of these candles. So if the price would have came back into that direction, I would not be seeing momentum and I would have just closed the trade right then and there. So this was like a really good setup. So I'm just go down to the lower time frames just so that we could see like really better price points. Like you can see how the 15-minute is holding this support area here. Yeah, really around 161.300. You can see how the 15-minute was holding that support. It's really good, nice, clean price action where you would like to see for additional confirms. Then we could go to like a 5-minute time frame. It's still more is very clear. But I just want to go down to the lower time frames just to give you a better look at what I was looking at was at the 3 minute. And this was the box that I marked out as the resistance. So I'm gonna just go to the 1 hour just so y'all could see what I'm talking about here. So I just wanted price action to break above these highs and I want to see candle confirms and closures above. So we started seeing it over here, right? So this was the resistance I wanted to break and then I wanted to see price action make that as support. So I'm gonna just go to the 3 minute because this is exactly what I was looking at for the candlestick confirms. So right here was exactly what I was looking at. We had the breakout and then now we had our retest. And as price action remained above, this blue box area that was resistance. So we had price action made a double bottom. That's an additional confirm. You see, we retested here as well. We made a high, a retest, and now we retested this area 3 times. So we held that as support. And then we look for candle closures to break above the neckline and then you can see like how the candle bodies is closing above uh this high forming this support. So that was like a really good entry confirm that I would like to get into after this candle turned bullish with your stop losses below these lows. And then like price action was trending sideways for some time, but during that session we wasn't getting significant strength from the pound. That was the reason why. But heading up towards we had UK PMI data that was positive, and I was expecting that to give us some strength for the pound. So after that, like we headed towards NY session, and then we started seeing some strength as support was being held. And again, looking at price action over here as well, it did it again as we see a double bottom has formed, and then we broke above the highs. And then, you see we price action gave us another confirm as we did retest this area, made it turn this into support, and we continued bullish. And this is pretty much what I like to look for entries and trades, and take profits. And this scalp trade was definitely hit my TP for around 40 pips.